Hello everyone, welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm your host Alan Cavana. Back with me once again, Nationwide Series crew chief and NASCAR.com analyst Chris Rice. Crew chief, you were at Talladega. Are you happy to have that in the rear view?
Absolutely. All the wrecks that we went through at Talladega, all the wrecks that we had in the Sprint Cup Series, all the wrecks we had in the Nationwide side. I'm so glad that's over with. But you know, Speedway racing does one thing. The fans were there. A lot of fans at this racetrack. So, you know, I enjoyed going to Talladega, but I'm glad it's over. And as a Nationwide Series crew chief, we got one more. Cup guys, they got two more, and one of them's in that chase.
Yeah, and it's good to see the fans out there, and we'll certainly see them out in Kansas Speedway, where for the first time, the Sprint Cup Series will race under the lights at Kansas Speedway. Now, tell me, as a crew chief, when you're going literally from day to night, is that big of a change? Can you bring any of your notes from the last time you raced there?
You can bring your notes, but, you know, none of us know what Kansas is going to do from day to night because we've never raced there at night. You know, Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's a big change when they raced that 600-mile racetrack. It's a big change going from day to night. We watch drivers start at the beginning of the race, leading that thing, driving away, and we get into the nighttime, and normally at night, it's a total different pack of guys up front. So they can bring their notes, but they don't know what it's going to do from day to night. So it's going to be a pretty tough task for all the crew chiefs to figure out how to set up their car during the day to race at night.
All right, and through 10 races this season, we've been to 2.5-mile racetracks, just like Kansas Speedway. And both of those races have been won by Penske drivers Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski. Now, Chris, I think we could also throw California in there a little bit where the Penske guys did well. But when you see one team doing so well at that certain intermediate type of racetrack, what's making the difference? What are they hitting on that maybe other teams aren't?
Well, it started back in December and January when them guys really went to work at testing. They've done their homework. You know, you see them cars really down on the ground. It was a good view of them here at California Speedway. They have figured out how to get their geometry right, their rear end right, get everything aligned when them cars are way down, gain all the downforce over the race car they could. And what that does is that makes them fast in a pack. But also they're fast in qualifying, so they got it all together.
And we know how good they are at the intermediate tracks, so who's your pick to win at Kansas?
Well, you know, we have talked about how Jimmy Johnson hadn't won a race.
Have we? He's
yes,
sick of
we
hearing
have talked.
it, too.
I guarantee he's sick of hearing it. It's like when Dale Earnhardt Jr. hadn't won a race. I'm going with Jimmy Johnson, and the reason I'm going with Jimmy Johnson is Chad Knaus has just really worked hard at trying to figure out what is going on, how to make these cars run fast. As you could see back at Darlington, he was really fast. They took 2 tires. They were going to win that thing if it would have been a short little stint there. But I'm going with Jimmy Johnson to win it. I feel Hendrick has done their homework and they're ready to go.
And I'm going with a different pick. I'm going with Joey Logano. Go with the hot driver right now in the hot team. That's Team Penske at these 1.5-mile tracks. We saw what Joey Logano did at Texas. He qualifies well. Once he's out front, he can stay out there. We know Brad Keselowski won in Las Vegas. So that Penske team is just hitting on it right now for all the reasons that you mentioned. So I'm just going with the hot driver right now. So maybe one of our picks will win.
You're always picking a hot driver. I don't know. It's always a hot driver. When are you going to go out on a limb?
Well, not quite yet, but we want to hear from you. This brings us to our social pick of the week. There are some big-name drivers that have not won yet. So who is the most likely to win at Kansas Speedway this weekend? Is it Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, or Jeff Gordon? We want to hear from you. You can vote at NASCAR.com/social. Now, none of those drivers were the drivers we picked, so hopefully
Jimmy
we're the
Johnson.
experts. Oh,
Jimmy
yeah,
Johnson.
You better go on there and vote.
Hey, I'm going to vote, and I might vote 2 or 3 times, so everybody go vote for Jimmy Johnson.
All right. Chris Rice, as always, thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching the preview show delivered by FedEx. Have a great weekend, everybody.